What's up, YouTube? It's the Action Figure Grader coming back to you with a quick video. The mailman just arrived with a beautiful action figure, and this is the Retro Collection Mandalorian Remnant Stormtrooper. This is a Disney.com / Hasbro Pulse exclusive. Unfortunately, I hate store exclusives, but I did find this one on eBay. I went ahead and bit the bullet and got it. This is a pack-in for the Mandalorian Monopoly board game, and it arrived in pristine condition, which is fantastic. It's awfully pretty. I did pre-order the Retro Collection wave of 6 other figures, which I'll show you now. I'm very excited about these Retro Collection Mandalorian figures. I don't have much in the way of the Retro Collection, but I could not resist how cool these look. And I decided to go ahead and pre-order those from Big Bad Toy Store. So Big Bad Toy Store typically gets these pre-orders in much later than stores. So I imagine that by the time I actually receive my order, that you guys will all have them in hand. But I'm fairly early to the game with this Remnant Stormtrooper, and I thought folks might like to see a closer look at it. I do have it still on the card. It's not going to be taken off the card, and it will be sent in to Collector Archive Services for preserving. So that is the way I roll, and like it or not, here it is. This is the same card back, or very similar, or at least the photo is the same for the Vintage Collection version of the Remnant Stormtrooper, which I'll show you in a second. But they basically, it's basically just a slight paint difference versus the regular Stormtrooper Retro Collection, which I do not have. You can see that they had some kind of dirt and called it a day. It's kind of a lazy repack, but I decided to go ahead and pick it up. But he's got some dirt and kind of paint apps around the knees as well as the chest area. Otherwise, it's basically the exact same figure as the Imperial Stormtrooper Retro Collection figure. But very cool. I'm going to turn it around and show you the back of the card while I try and find my graded Remnant Stormtrooper. You'll hear some drawers opening and closing. Ah, here it is. I found it. It didn't take me too long, believe it or not. But here's the back of the card. Fairly boring card with multiple languages. It does mention here, if I can get it to focus, that wave that's coming out early next year, the Mandalorian, Cara Dune, IG-11, Quill, the Child, Moff Gideon, and Grief Karga. So those are all the figures in the line as you saw in the photo, and I'll add that later, but a fairly standard boring card back. But unfortunately, this is a pack-in exclusive for the Disney, or excuse me, for the Monopoly video game that has the Mandalorian packaging. Here is my graded Vintage Collection Remnant Stormtrooper that I've already shown you briefly. This has been autographed by Michael Bender, who is an actor and a good buddy of mine now that played a Stormtrooper for Season 1 and I believe Season 2 as well of The Mandalorian. But anyway, I had him sign this. He was so nice to sign that and send it back to me. But this is the Vintage Collection, and here's the label on this one again, just since we have it out. VC 165 Remnant Stormtrooper signed by Michael Bender. So it's got a 90 for the card score. Blister got a 90. Figure score is a 95, a 91.9 overall. This is the Collector Archive Services Signature Series where you pay an extra fee and James Spence Authentication authenticates the autograph. So I love these autographed items, and this one was really a really nice addition. But I'm sorry about the poly bag. It's just one of those things. I didn't think about showing this one to you until after I got this video rolling. So the only other Retro Collection item that I have that you probably remember is this Hoth Ice Planet adventure game. It has the pack-in of the Luke Skywalker in Snowspeeder outfit with kind of the bright yellow goggles. But this is an homage to the 1980 or 82 board game. I have that one also graded by AFA 80, but this is a sealed and graded Retro Collection Hoth Ice Planet adventure game. I would pull down the other vintage example, but I have that hidden behind a bunch of stuff right now, and I'm just too lazy to pull it off. Let's see if we can find the label on this one. Here's the label on this one. I'm sorry, let me move some of this stuff before I cause some ruckus here. And here is the label on this one. And this one, if I can get it to focus, 2020 Empire Strikes Back Hoth Ice Planet Adventure game. The box got a 90, the window got an 85, and the figure is a 90, 85 plus overall. I have no idea how they grade that. I think the W actually means the wrapper, not the window. So they're not grading this. They're actually grading the wrapper quality around the board game. So, you know, for whatever reason, it got an 85. But pretty cool to look at. And here's the rest of the artwork here. It's a little bit close in right now, but hopefully you get the general idea. Great artwork. The original vintage example that I have, very similar artwork. Obviously, it doesn't have the pack-in figure, but that's really the only retro collection item I have right now. And hopefully, we will show all of the other members of the Mandalorian Retro Collection when those arrive next year. But I just thought you guys would like to take another look. This is a nice little comparison for the vintage collection versus the retro collection. And we'll do one final look at this one since it's fairly new and folks are probably wondering what it looks like. But essentially, it's a pretty, in my opinion, pretty lazy repack of the original Stormtrooper Retro Collection figure. But I wanted it because I have all the others coming, and I bit the bullet and paid basically what the price is for the game plus the figure. But I'll live with it. I don't really need the game. I've got about 4 different Monopoly games that I play with my kids, so I really just wanted the figure. So I figured, well, whatever. I'll just pay the man, and that way I can knock this one out and not have to worry about it. But anyway, I just thought folks might like to see this. I hope everyone is doing well, and I will be back very soon.